Welcome back to another Mustang Blueprint podcast. I am Mavi Valentine.
I'm Landon Cruz.
And today we have Alex and Peder from the Rugby Club, and we are so excited to have you guys here. Can you guys introduce yourselves and tell us more about you?
I'm Peder. I'm a sophomore here at SMSU. I'm also one of the men's captains we do have here on the rugby team. I am a special ed major, but that's not all that I do here. And then we got Alex.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Alex. I'm a data science and finance major here. Next semester I'll be a junior, and I'm the forwards captain of the men's rugby team.
That's exciting. I did not know, Alex, you were going to be a junior. And Peder, I did not think you were just a sophomore. I don't know, you just look...
I get that a lot.
Yeah, in a good way. Not that I'm calling you old or anything like that.
He's involved. He's been around everywhere.
Yeah. That's awesome. So tell us, guys, rugby club, right? So it's a club, but you guys are legit team. How did you get started? How did you get involved?
So I got involved in the spring of last year. I did a tryout process in the fall, and then my school email was broken, so I never heard from them. But then I found out that we were doing practices again in the spring, so I joined up on the team at that point, and I've been playing with the team ever since.
Yeah, so I think I started rugby here since the inception, because back in Sri Lanka I had an interest, but I never got into it. I saw the poster. It really stood out, and it caught my heart, and I sent it to all my friends. And there is another Sri Lankan here who played rugby in Sri Lanka in the nationals level, and we all got together and we went, and yeah, it just took my heart from the first time. So yeah.
That was your guys' first time playing ever? Was here at SMSU?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'd heard of the sport before from a movie that I'd watched in class, or it's just oh, it's one of those Olympic sports, but it wasn't an option at my high school. So
Can you guys tell us a little bit more about the game itself? I might be very wrong, but when I think about rugby, I kind of think about football without the helmets, and you cannot go forward, you only can pass the ball backwards. That's what I imagine. Is that's accurate?
That's very close. Rugby's a little bit different. Now, in football, of course, you do 11 on 11. Rugby, you can do either 15 on 15 or 7 on 7. Typically in the fall, we will be doing our 15 on 15 seasons, but we do also have our 7 on 7 seasons. Now, you are correct in the fact that you can only throw the ball behind you, but you're also allowed to just kick the ball whenever you want. You tackle whenever you want, and it's a constant play. So if I were to get tackled, every other person on the opposing team can try and rip the ball from my arms, and say if Alex were right next to me, his job is to prevent people from doing that.
Go, Alex.
So the thing I like about rugby is it's like you and your brothers are going to war. It literally is on the field.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there is no equipment. It's just you and your spirit. So like you said, if your brother is not there next to you and you can't have faith, it's very difficult. And you can't be a one-man team. You need to have someone else, because you can't pass forwards, right? So you can only go so far if you're carrying the ball, right? And the team is also trying to rip the ball from you. So it's a very strategic and team-oriented sport.
I watched one of your games earlier this semester. I think it was Wayne State here, and it was pretty fast-paced game, which I was quite surprised. I thought it was going to be more of a slower-paced style game, so that was quite impressive to see and watch.
Yeah, rugby in itself is a very, very fast-paced game. It doesn't have a lot of stoppages unless we're going into a scrum, or the ball goes out of bounds, or we score. That's usually only when we do have our stoppages, but it's very much similar to soccer in the fact that the clock is always running. You got to get your plays moving quickly, and if you don't move quickly enough and you're playing that slower style of game, your scores are going to be much lower, but it also kind of poses its own challenges. As you play slower, you get less opportunities.
Can you remind me of the scoring again?
Yeah.
There's several like different ways to score, correct?
Yeah, so you have, of course, your try. So that's where we go into the end zone, and to score in rugby, you do have to place the ball on the ground. So if I were to just run into the end zone there and then suddenly I just drop the ball out of the back of the end zone, that's not a point for my team. But if I were to place the ball on the ground safely and securely, that is 5 points for our team. And then you do kick an extra point afterwards, and it differs from football because usually you have like those lines on the field where you kick, but you actually kick from wherever the ball was touched down. So if I'm running all the way down the left sideline and I touch the ball down there, I'm kicking from that left sideline to try and get it in through those uprights, which would give us those extra 2 points. And then you can also do a drop kick goal. So you can just drop the ball, it has to bounce off the ground, and then you kick it in through the uprights. This allows you to gain an extra 3 points as well.
Very cool.
That is so interesting. I had no idea. And another thing I'm very curious to learn more. So, Landon, you just said they watched their game against Wayne State. So you guys are a club, but you're still competing against other universities. Like, how does that all work?
So we are part of the Northern Lights Conference. So in that conference, we have Wayne State, Carleton, SDSU. So since it's not a recognized athletic sport in universities, they come together as a club, and then we compete on that level.
That is so awesome. So, like, do you guys have different levels of, like, I don't know, like, regional and then, like, statewide, nationwide? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so it's very similar to like how the NCAA works, except we are under NCR, which is National Collegiate Rugby. Currently, we are a D3 school for rugby, but there is Division 1, Division 2, all that fun stuff as well. We are currently within a conference known as the Northern Lights. Yeah, the Northern Lights Conference. So we've got a bunch of schools who are in like that north midwestern section. So like and it's split into like an east and a west side as well. So that's how we have teams like SDSU, Wayne State, and all those. But like other groups in our division are like teams like Bemidji. We have Winona. We have St. John's University. Other schools similar to that. And then as you kind of look across the nation, you have different schools that are also playing at like the D2 or D3 level as well.
Do you have men's and women's rugby then? Is it separate? Is it co-ed? I really have no idea how it works. But
yeah. So for practices, we have co-ed practices. So girls and boys together, we practice. But in terms of competing, it's men's and women's separately. So the men's compete in Northern Lights. I believe the women's they compete in Prairie States conference, but I think they're planning to change to Northern Lights. So yeah, I mean, for the people who are watching and still don't know what rugby is, I would like definitely recommend, even if you all could watch like a YouTube short or something. I enjoy rugby watching it slow because, like you said, fast paced. Even when you're there, you can't catch everything, right? So, but if you watch it slow, you would see how it's kind of like poetry in motion. Really, it's just beautiful how it slowly comes together. And when you see it in real time, you don't see all of that. So just try to watch some YouTube shorts on like of it being played slowly. So yeah, that's something the viewers could do just to make sense of this conversation.
What does like a typical like week of training or practice look like for you guys?
So all rugby games are played on Saturdays, unless we are doing tournaments in which those are like spread out over several days. But usually we have a Monday and a Wednesday practice, which are hosted by our coaches. And then on Fridays, we would have a captain's practice. That would be something that Alex and I would run, or one of the women's captains would run. These are set up so that way we can allow our players to have those much more intense practices on that Monday and Wednesday. And then the day before the game, we focus on more like just some active game planning, some like recovery stuff, something a little bit lighter to allow our bodies to heal, because rugby is just like football, in which
physical demanding.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to go play a rugby game, and then the next day I'm going to go run a marathon. You will not want to get out of bed.
Yeah, with all the tackling and everything, I bet it's pretty demanding on your body.
Yeah, but you know, like that's what I thought when I joined, but we played a social tournament, the St. John's tournament, and you see even seniors play. And usually when you see the older people play, you're like, oh, okay, maybe just one game. But they're so passionate. They just play one game, they get hurt, they're like, and they go again. The culture is insane, you know. They just really love the sport. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we're playing rugby, we're not looking to hurt each other, you know. The common phrase with rugby is enemies on the field, friends off of it. There's a huge culture of like, oh, we're gonna go like absolutely just pummel into each other time after time, and then we'll go off the field and we'll go all and eat like food together afterwards.
It literally is. Yeah, and sometimes you play on that team, on the team you played against, because they don't have a teammate, so then you're friends. Like it's just beautiful. I don't know how to explain that, but for me, like I haven't really played much team sports, and like playing and seeing the culture, it really is beautiful.
I love that. What is one of your guys' favorite moment, Dan, from your time in club rugby?
For me, like everything is just wow to me, because this is like the first time I've done something like this, and I think my the first social tournament that I spoke about in St. John's, it's just seeing the culture, because, and another thing not many people know about, I know that's a question probably later on, but SMSU Rugby has like a huge history or legacy. They've been winning a lot of matches. So people are coming to me and saying, hey, are you the captain of SMSU Rugby? And I'm like, yeah, like, wow, I used to play at that school or whatever. And they come up to me. So there's like a huge legacy behind SMSU Rugby.
That is so awesome. I did not know that. Did you know that, Linda?
No.
That's
great. When did like SMSU Rugby like start?
It's been around since like the 70s for the men's team at least. We were going very, very strong, and then COVID hit and wiped away all of the different clubs and all that. So we were able to get it rebuilt pretty recently. I think the men's team reopened in 23-24, and then the women's team was like 22-23.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. And once again, if the viewers want to see that history, all could like log into, check our socials, because there are pictures and videos of the games, and yeah, it's really fun to see the camaraderie, and they had a big team, right?
Yeah, we like way back in like right before COVID like killed the team and all of that, we were averaging like a roster size of like 25.
Wow.
Which is quite large for a lot of like local college spaces as well. And like I think back in the day we were like competing with much bigger schools at the time too. So I remember talking to some of the alumni, and we'd competed against like North Dakota State or like Concordia Moorhead, who are like bigger rugby schools.
Yeah. That is so great. Yeah. What is one of your favorite memories, Peter?
It's got to be that that last 15s game that we had of this fall season. It was our last home game. It was against Carleton, and it was actually our first 15s win of like the new men's team. We got a bunch of people to come in and just play the game with us. We had a lot of fun. It was like, it had so many unique challenges in it. We saw so many people who were just like, who would maybe struggle in practice or something, and then they'd go out in that game, and then they would just make incredible plays. We have teammate Michael. He was just having some issues in practice, and then he goes into the scrum, and he just completely pushes a guy like he pushes like the entire scrum backwards, and it's just like, where did this come from? And it's so exciting to see this development process as a like captain, because I'm so excited to see like, we have this potential here. Let's keep building on it.
I love that. Yeah.
For people who don't know rugby well, what is one thing from both of you guys that you wish that they would understand more?
You want to go first?
Sure. The active game speed. You talk about the game being very fast, and it does look very, very fast when you're looking at it like from like a viewer's perspective. But when you're in like that actual game time, the game slows down significantly. I mean, there'll be times where you're like dead sprinting down the field and like everything's flashing by and you're trying to make these like snap decisions. But like a lot of the time you are trying to set up a play. So while the game looks like it's moving very quickly and everybody's reacting very quickly, it's actually a lot closer to like, hey, we got to we got to build this like set piece up, this play out, so that way we can get these players set up. It's a lot more technical than the game may look at first, because the game will look very chaotic if you're watching it, but if you know what's going on, it's like, oh my lord.
I would say, speaking from my perspective, because when I tell my friends back home in Sri Lanka, hey, I'm the captain of rugby, they're like, you're athletic? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying too. So I would tell everyone like, hey, just give it a shot, you know. You will be really surprised to see what makes out of it. Like Peter said, when you're in that situation, the energy within you just comes out of like nowhere. And when you're in the thick of it, you figure things out, and the real side of you comes. It'll help develop confidence, and you'll get to know more about yourself. And it's real-time feedback, right? So if you don't do something correctly, your enemy is just going to crush you. So, and another thing I think puts people off is probably the injury or physical side of it. But once you learn the techniques, you understand, and you're more conscious of, okay, I shouldn't do it this way because it'll hurt the other person. And there are rules around it too. So those are things I would keep in mind.
Yeah, we don't often get many injuries on the team. More often than not, it's us accidentally getting each other sick than actually getting hurt. But yeah, that's the main like kind of pause I've gotten from a lot of people who have gotten to try to join the team, is like, oh, I don't really want to get hurt and all that. But once you learn how to like fall properly, tackle properly, or just like avoid being tackled in general, usually you won't get hurt all that often.
Now, question about the season, kind of going with everything that we're talking about. How long is the season? Like, how does that work? And would you guys be willing to share like your main goal for this upcoming, or if you are in season right now, that you have for the team?
Yeah, so in our fall, we do a 15 season, which means it's 15 on 15 players. That is around 10 weeks. We get a bye week, and then we play a college here, and then we play a college where we travel as well. Our 7th season is a little bit different. We don't have like a specific like tournament bracket kind of set up, but in our 7th season, we will go out and visit a bunch of different like colleges to do tournaments there. Like later this year, we're planning to go to the All Saints tournament in St. Cloud for the St. John's University All Saints tournament, which we went to last year. That's that tournament he was talking about. And then, of course, I'm looking into other colleges as options. I know Carleton's planning to do a tournament in February, and our goal is in like a couple years we'll have a Southwest State one, but we'll see where that goes.
Yes.
That would be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And we have alumni tournaments too, like we said. We have a strong alumni team too. So we'll be having alumni tournaments, and some things we are planning to do for next season is try to go for other universities' practices so that we can learn from them. And try to get the numbers up. I think that's the biggest thing.
Is there a game that you guys are looking forward to the most?
I think we need to get back to that All Saints tournament. We went in there last year with some pretty low expectations, and we did much better than I think we all thought we would have done. I think this year we're going to look to at least make it past like the 2nd or 3rd round of the tournament this year, see how far we can actually go.
Would you say that this team this year is a completely different team than what it was last year?
It is a very, very different team, I would say. We've got a lot of different people from last year. We finally have a front line, so we're able to have our larger bodies who are able to just go in there and take like 4 people to take them down, so that's a lot more fun.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people come out since I've been there in the beginning. And I feel like this time the team is very committed. They are like, there's a fire within them. And even practices, I remember they text you on the group, hey, we should go a few minutes before practices to get some kicks in. So they are willing to do the extra work. So I'm really excited.
what is an advice you would give to someone that just started or wants to start playing rugby right now?
You just gotta get out there and play. I mean, the game is fun. The community is fun. You just got to get out there. We have a whole bunch of options for you. We've got like social media and stuff too. So if you want to like come out and like, hey, this is something I'm interested in doing, you got to just let us know and we'll get you on the team. I mean, we'll take pretty much anybody. So if you want to come up and just play with us, totally an option to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like Peter said, we are willing to teach too. I would say the biggest thing, at least the hardest part for me, is like showing up, because once you get there, it's fun. But like, going to the practices consistent, like we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So just show up. You might suck. That's okay. As you progress, you're going to surprise yourself. So just keep on showing up and don't think, oh, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too slim, whatever. Actually, in rugby, it's more advantageous if you're shorter, since you can tackle the you can tackle the opponent easier. If you're tall, it's easier to tackle them. So yeah, just try it. Just give it a shot and be consistent.
What's your guys' like playing style on the field? Is there any like rituals or anything that you guys do before games as like a team to like pump yourselves up?
I have a quick answer, but
just by the looks, I'm like, there's something coming.
There's something here.
I don't know the exact wording. I wish I had this. I told him a couple of times to send me this. Do you know the exact wording of the chant?
Yeah, we have like a chant where it's like, hey, we're going to go out there and put it all on the line. And even if we lose, we're going to make sure that we are there to congratulate the winners on the side. It's very much a, hey, we are here to win this game, but even if we don't, we're not going to be sore losers about it. We try very hard to preach that we are not going to be like bad losers or bad winners. Very much about, we want to build that community throughout the rugby like space. So the more that we can increase people's interest, or we can get people who are like, oh, hey, I want to play this team again, then that is a good thing.
I love that. You guys, just from hearing you talking about rugby, I am like pumped about it. I'm like, maybe I'll come on those like Monday, Wednesday, maybe Friday, come see what it is about. It's like so interesting, and it's really nice to see like your energy and your passion for the game. And even though I think a lot of people, when you hear like rugby, it's a club, it's much more than a club, and that's what you guys are showing us. It's the community. Like, you're out there, you're competing, you're going against other universities, bigger universities. We're definitely cheering for you guys.
Yeah.
I haven't made it to a game yet, so Landon, you let me know next time you're coming, and I'll join you.
Mustang Blueprint field trip to the rugby games.
Yes,
let's do it. Everyone, let's do it. Yeah.
We'll just have a podcast, and you'll just hear a loud smack as somebody gets tackled.
We'll just have you guys playing in the background. Just kind of wrapping things up as we're getting low on time. Is there anything from both of you that you'd want the viewers to know as we're coming to an end on this rugby episode?
If you are listening to this podcast and you have interest in joining the rugby team, email us at SMSU Men's Rugby. Just search it into your school email search bar; it'll pop up. We are very open to having new players. We are starting practices again in about February-ish. So if you want to come out and practice with us, come and join us. We have a whole bunch of different options for you. And and a lot of this early spring period is just introducing people to the game. So you don't have to worry about like, oh no, I have to be fantastic at this. Or you have to be like a fantastic athlete. Honestly, as long as you're there, you'll become a great athlete.
Yeah, I mean, like Peter said, and we have a women's team too. So if you want to join the women's team, you could reach out to Journey, Brooklyn. For men's team, talk to Peter, myself. I would just say like you watch the video so far, so that means you have some sort of interest. So if you're still considering, just watch some videos on it. And just from my experience of being in rugby, I think it has kind of created a ripple effect in my life where I'm able to perform in other areas as well. And I'm more confident in myself. And at the same time, I'm comfortable taking leadership. And making strategic decisions. So I think joining rugby gives you benefits in so many areas, and it also shows like in the future that you're how like a person who is comfortable, leading teams and so on and so forth. So yeah, just try it, just give it a shot. The worst thing that can happen is you don't like it, so just try.
Thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. We had a great time, and
yes.
we'll have to do this field trip.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been another episode of the Mustang Blueprint.
There's one more population of folks that I work with that we didn't talk about, and those are folks that need a temporary accommodation plan. So I work with concussed athletes athletes that have suffered some injury, or students that maybe have an extended illness, they have a family emergency, things that take students away from the focus of studying for a short window of time, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We can put an accommodation plan in place for those circumstances and help the student get better or get through whatever it is that was in front of them.